Hey everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy. And what do you think we're looking at here? It looks to me like it's another crossover SUV, like the world needs another compact crossover SUV. But wait a minute, there's actually something different and unusual about this one. This is the 2017 Kia Niro, which is a new model for Kia, and it also happens to be a hybrid compact crossover SUV or wagon. They deliberately styled this to look like a small wagon, like a Honda CR-V or a Nissan Rogue or something like that, but it's got a hybrid powertrain. Not many of these out there. There's the Toyota RAV4, but the RAV is bigger and it gets substantially less fuel economy. Now, fuel economy is definitely part of the picture here. This thing is capable of 50 miles per gallon, which is really good. So is the Prius C, so is the larger Prius, and by the way, size-wise, this thing falls in between the two of those. It's a little bit longer than a Prius C, and it's a little bit smaller than the regular Prius or Prius, or however you're supposed to say it. But anyway, okay, here's the deal. The thing that really sets this thing apart is that unlike all the other hybrids in the affordable class, which I put at $25,000 or less to start, and this starts around 22, actually just under 23, this thing's actually got some nuts. It will move. It does 0 to 60 in about 8.5 seconds, and to give you some sense of perspective on that, the Prius C takes about 11 seconds, and that's not a small difference. That's a really significant difference, particularly out in the real world. How does it do that? If you look at the stats, initially you'll be scratching your head because the rated horsepower of the combined output of the gas engine and the electric motor battery pack assembly is about the same as in the Prius C. It's like 130 something horsepower. So how come this thing is so substantially quicker? Well, it turns out it's got a much more powerful battery, higher voltage battery than the Prius C has. And it's also new gen lithium ion polymer instead of a nickel metal hydride. So it actually moves out, so you don't have to pay a penalty in terms of performance to drive this thing. It's about as quick as any current mid-sized sedan with a 4-cylinder engine or any other economy type car, but it also gets 50 plus miles per gallon, and that's pretty cool. Some other little cool things about this that you might want to know too, they got rid of the 12-volt starter battery. This one doesn't have one. It uses the main battery pack to start the gas engine when that's necessary. So that not only took about 50 pounds of weight off the car, it's one less thing to hassle with down the road. Those of you who follow my rants know that I am not enthusiastic about electric cars. I think electric cars are preposterous as an economic position, and they are hobbled by all sorts of functional gimps. I like hybrids better because at least they don't have the functional gimps that electric cars have. But a lot of them are really pricey, and in my opinion, that just kind of negates the whole point of having one of these things. However, this one is very reasonably priced. As I said, just under $23,000 to start. They max out just under 30. And again, to give you some perspective, the Toyota RAV4 hybrid, which is much less fuel efficient, to the tune of about 15 to even 20 miles per gallon less fuel efficient than this, starts at about $29,000. So substantial difference. Also, this has this kind of cool crossover-y look to it, so it's not as in-your-face hybrid as a Prius is, Prius, however they want to say it. And you do have the advantage of the additional cargo capacity that the crossover layout gives you. And one final observation before I fly the coop and go inside for some food, you might have noticed that this thing sits a little bit higher off the ground than your standard hybrid. And it does, Captain. You got 6.3 inches of ground clearance, which is substantially more than in hybrids like the Prius C and the Prius regular. So even though this does not have all-wheel drive, none of the hybrids in this class offer all-wheel drive. They're all front-wheel drive. Nonetheless, having that additional bit of ground clearance is definitely going to help you out in snow weather driving. It's not going to beat a Subaru Forester in a foot of snow, but pretty sure that this thing would be a lot more capable of dealing with a winter out here in the woods than a Prius C or a Prius regular or any of the others that are in this general price ballpark. Anyway, hopefully, coffee and sugar willing, I'll have a more comprehensive written review up on the site shortly. And in case you haven't seen it yet, I've also got a rant just posted about how speeding is good for you. So, thanks for viewing, and come on down to the site. Hope to see you there, and we'll catch you again soon.